about sleep. That's how I love sleeping. Who likes sleeping? Raise your hand if you like sleeping. All right. So this is something that Amy and I we've really struggled. I mean, we don't struggle with a lot of things, but we have struggled in our marriage with this whole idea of sleep. See, Amy, she lives through the day for that moment she can lay her head down on the pillow. Like, she cannot wait for it. Like, she'll even tell me, it'll be sitting around dinner, she's like, I can't wait. I can't wait to lay down. So, but I'm the exact opposite. I don't look forward to sleeping. I don't know what it is. Like, I just feel like I'm going to have a hard time getting to sleep, and my mind is always going, and so I have to know before I even lay down, like, I have to be really, really tired. Because if I toss and turn for more than like 3 minutes, I'm done. I got to get up. I got to do something. I got to get on my phone and read the late breaking news that I missed in the last 30 minutes since I set my phone down before. And so for the longest time, she'd go to bed like just so peacefully and happy and just, oh, it's 9 o'clock and oh, this is fantastic. And I'm going, I can't go to bed at 9 o'clock. I might miss something. That's my whole thing. What if I miss something? And then at like 1 in the morning, I'm going, well, I didn't really miss anything. Tomorrow night, I'll go to bed at 9. It never happens. So sleep has been something for us that's just been kind of this, like, we're just very different. Well, I have a little quiz for you guys on sleep because, believe it or not, Pastor Bob is talking about sleep today. We'll get to that in just a minute. So sleep, there's an animal that sleeps for 2/3 of its life. 2/3 of its life, it sleeps. And it's an animal that many of you might have. Now think about the animals that you have and how much you sleep. What do you think it might be? It's a cat. A cat sleeps for 2/3 of its life. If you have cats, you probably know this. I don't like cats. But if I weren't alert, I'm not going to apologize for that. I don't like cats. Most of it is I'm allergic to them. But if I wasn't, I might have one because that sounds like a great pet when he sleeps. Now, there's also an animal that needs, listen to this, there's an animal that needs 1.9 hours of sleep per day. They sleep less than 2 hours a day. Now, this is not one you would have as a pet. What do you think? It's a giraffe. A giraffe sleeps less than 2 hours a day. That's all it needs. A brown bat sleeps 20 hours a day. 20 hours a day. So if you get a bat, make sure it's a black one. They're a little more active. Okay? Sea otters. You guys ever seen a sea otter? You know what sea otters do when they sleep? They hold hands with each other. Do you know that? You know why they do that? They do that so they don't drift away from their little pack. Isn't that interesting? Dolphins and whales. You ever wondered how they could just stay underwater all the time, but they never go down to the bottom and like lay down and sleep? You know what they do? Half of their brain goes to sleep at a time, and they alternate. And so the other half is awake, and it tells them to go up and breathe. But then one half stays asleep, so it regenerates, it's whatever happens in sleep. And then it'll switch the next time. Isn't that crazy? Did you know this? Human beings are the only mammals that will willingly delay sleep. We're the only ones that go, man, I'm tired, but I don't want to go to sleep right now. Every other mammal, just like, yeah, I'm tired. Going to sleep. We're the only ones that do that. Do you know how much time we typically spend sleeping? So cats do 2/3 of their life. Human beings do how much? A little less than half. A little more than a quarter. We got 1/2. 1/3. 1/3. Humans spend 1/3 of their life sleeping, and many of you out there would say, I wish, right? Did you know that the amount of sleep that a human needs, this is scientific evidence, so it may not pertain to you, but the amount of sleep that a human typically needs drops as we get older. So infants need around 18 hours of sleep each day, while people older than 65, I'm just reading the studies, tend to only need 5 to 6 hours of good sleep. Now, is anybody like, no way, that is not me? No. Is there anyone out there that's like, yeah, I mean, I remember needing a lot of sleep. Now I get up at 4 o'clock and I'm ready to drink coffee and get on with my day, right? I always wondered how those guys at Quick Shop did it. Like, what are you doing up? Like, what do you do? But maybe that's it. They only need 5 to 6 hours of good sleep. Tiredness in human beings peaks naturally twice a day. Once at 2 a.m. and then again at 2 p.m. Okay, anybody there? Somebody like, yes, 2 o'clock. I always thought it was lunch. Now that's part of it, but your natural sleep cycles at 2 p.m. tends to say, it's time to sleep. Tell your boss that. The record for the longest period of a human being without sleep. What do you think? What do you kids think it is? The longest that a human being has ever gone on record without sleeping. 3 days? 1 week? A little bit longer. Yeah, what do you think?
3 weeks.
Not 3 weeks.
2 weeks.
It's in days. What do you think?
7 days. 12 days.
It's actually 11 days. 11 days someone went without sleeping. Now this might help you kids out. You ready for this? Everybody, I don't know if I'm saying this right, but let's just pretend it's pronounced this way. Dysania. D-Y-S-A-N-I-A. This is the term for an acute condition that some of you have. It's what makes it hard to get out of bed in the morning. It's called dysania. Okay? Yes, so tomorrow morning, when it's time for school, time to get up, tell your parents, I'm sorry, I've come down with dysania. Okay? Can't get out of bed right now. Husbands, the baby's crying, and your wife's saying it's your turn. Honey, I'm so sorry. I've come down with a case of dysania. Or just keep pretending you're still asleep. So, you can do that too. Now, this one's interesting. 80% of people tend to dream in color. 80% of people tend to dream in color. 50 years ago, most people dreamt in black and white. Sleep experts attribute this change to the invention of what? Color television. Can you believe that? How crazy is that? Once color TV came along and got popular, people started dreaming in color. I think we watch too much TV. Last one. Sleep deprivation will kill you more quickly than food deprivation. Think about that. You will die from starvation in about 2 weeks. You will die from sleep deprivation in as little as 10 days. So how that guy lasted 11, who knows? But think about that. You need sleep. So what does this have to do with anything? We're not doing a sermon today on our actual physical sleep. But what Pastor Bob is going to talk about is a spiritual sleep. Have you kids, has anyone ever said to you, would you please wake up? Now, have they ever said it to you when you're not sleeping? Like, wake up, come on. You need to get with it, right? Well, see, God, I don't need any examples, Izzy. Thank you. See, God in His scripture, there's many times where His prophets or His messengers have a message for the people. And the message is, wake up. Wake up from your slumber. And they're not going, hey, we are awake. I mean, we're listening to you. There's a wake up. In Ephesians chapter 5, Paul says, for you were once darkness, but you're the light of the Lord. Live as children of light and find out what pleases the Lord. have nothing to do with the fruitless deeds of darkness, but rather expose them. It's shameful even to mention what the disobedient do in secret. But everything exposed by the light becomes visible, and everything that is illuminated becomes a light. That's why it's said, wake up, sleeper, rise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you. You guys ever heard lullabies? What are lullabies? Yeah, what's another one you heard? What's a lullaby for? It's to lull you to sleep. To lull you to sleep.
Then why is it called a lullaby?
Have you ever been trying to go to sleep and your parents come in when you're trying to go to sleep?
Yes. That happens all the time.
And they walk in and they go, wake up! Have you ever heard that? No, they don't do that because they want you to go to sleep. A lullaby lulls you to sleep. What they're talking about in Scripture is many times we can be spiritually lulled to sleep. We can be wide awake physically, but spiritually, over time, we can become lulled